Piaget's Critics by Anna Coisty. Jean Piaget is a man who is very instrumental in the theory of cognitive development. Piaget's theory is known as the developmental stage theory. Piaget's theory states that children construct a mental method of their surroundings. He thought that children were not just born with intelligence, but that they learned intelligence on their own. There were many people very skeptical of this theory, and they did not agree with him at all. Many thought that he was crazy for thinking that children learn their own intelligence. The stages of Piaget's theory concern some researchers, and other theorists say that Piaget's theory is worded incorrectly. Piaget thought that children learn their own intelligence. Many believe that Piaget is wrong for thinking this. Jean Piaget suggested that children are not born with intelligence, but that they learn it from developing an understanding with the surrounding world. He thought that development was a progression of mental processes. In 1992, Wayne Whiten said that Piaget underestimated his findings on how a child develops. He says this because of findings that children develop the act of object permanence much earlier than Piaget had originally thought. John H. Flavel pointed out that there is no point in differentiating different ages at different stages. Expecting all children to learn at the same level, at the same age, at the same time is unrealistic because the brain develops in all different ways for different children. Piaget also argued that children were very egocentric, and now many people are saying that children are not as egocentric as Piaget thought. Many theorists say that during the pre-operational period, children can be much less egocentric than Piaget's original theory suggested. The stages of Piaget's theory are highly criticized by theorists. Peter Gray is very critical of the developmental stages of Piaget's theory. Piaget's theory says that each stage is different in a way that the way the child thinks is different depending on the stage that he or she is in. The criticism that Peter Gray has is that each stage is a new type of thinking based on the age of a child. If each stage is that way, then children should show signs of this new thinking at the particular age of the stage they are in. Gray says that children tend to progress rather slowly and gradually. Gray thinks this has led people to believe that the way a child develops is so slow, in fact, that there should be no developmental stages for a large group of children. Piaget did agree that development is slow, but he didn't think that it made a difference. There are people in the world who care very much how things are worded, and some theorists say that Piaget's theory is worded wrong and incorrectly. Neil Carlson and William Buskett are some of these people. They are very concerned that Piaget worded his theory wrong and used the incorrect terminology. They say that Piaget created words in a non-operational way. Carlson and Buskett say that the way Piaget used words such as accommodation and assimilation were used in the wrong way. The context of the words is to describe a change, but they ask what change is occurring. Carlson and Buskett argue that Piaget is leading researchers to create a cause and effect relationship among the variables in Piaget's study. I believe, based on Piaget's theory, that there really is not that much evidence of improper terminology. Many researchers are saying that there are things wrong with his theory. They say his thoughts on child intelligence is wrong and that he underestimated development, that his ideas on egocentrism are too forward, and that the wording of his theory is off. Many of Piaget's critics still think that his ideas at the time were very incredible. Just because people disagree with him does not mean that they think that his ideas are false. Piaget's theory was fundamental in many of the theories of development today. He is very highly thought of and very respected for his theory.